The remaining portion of this video introduces several DBMS features and aims to get you acquainted with basic database lingo. Each of the different relational DBMSs support the basic database structure. The basic elements of this structure are tables, that store a collection of entities, records or rows representing an instance of an entity, and fields or columns storing different characteristics of these entities. The key to the relational databases are the relationships or connections between these entities. Customers placing orders at different times is an example of such a relationship in our sporting goods database. Now we're going to switch to the hands-on portion of this video and navigate to the lectures subfolder under 01 underscore intro underscore DBMS folder in your class folder, which is going to be IDSC 3103 underscore files 01 intro DBMS lectures, and the file is right there. I'm going to use a different folder where I keep my recordings. Then find ACC DB underscore sports database, access database, and double click to open it. First, review some of the access objects, specifically the tables such as customer, order, and product, and then see if you can replicate the screenshot shown on the slide that shows a particular customer. Scroll down to customer ID 100, John Bowling, and then using the plus symbol expand its orders. It shows 4 orders placed on 4 different days, and then scroll down some more if possible, and then open up the last order showing the that he ordered on July 14th, 2025, 3 quantities of product 109. Then close the customer table, and then under Database Tools tab, there's a relationship button that shows you the relationship between customer, orders, and then through order detail the products, and their employees taking orders as well. So let's close the relationship window and switch back to the presentation. The underlying glue and the common language of all relational DBMSs is the structured query language, or SQL, also pronounced as SQL. SQL takes care of everything and anything that has to do with a relational database, from creating tables, populating them with data, to managing data entry forms, retrieving information via queries, and processing reports based on those queries, to presenting the data to the user. SQL does it all. Some of the DBMSs, like MS Access, allow you to do some, but not all of this without writing a single SQL script. Now let's switch again to the opened access database, sporting goods database, and then double click on the ACCDB underscore 01 underscore cust underscore orders query to show all 8 orders, or rather order details really, which we'll discuss a little bit later on, for hockey or soccer equipment placed on June 1st, 2015 by these 2 customers, Kim Derrick and Crawford Dana. And then after you review it, close it and switch back to the presentation. For a regular and even power user, rather than database developer or administrator, all of these types of interactions take place through an application program. These programs are designed to perform the tasks on behalf of users, tasks such as retrieving information, adding, updating, and deleting data, and running reports. A power user has the ability to design some of the basic applications on his or her own without having to write a single line of code. Switch back to the Access database yet one more time, and then double click on ACC DB1 underscore 02 underscore cust underscore entry form, and using the record browser navigator buttons at the bottom, browse to few of the customer records showing their information, showing their attributes or characteristics, last, first name, age, gender, and so forth. Okay, then close the form. We'll talk about some of these buttons in a minute and the functionality or lack thereof behind them. And then double click to run the ACC DB1_03_cust_report to view a simple customer report based on the query we shown a minute ago that summarizes the data or the orders by customer for the order date 6/1/25 for these soccer and hockey products. Then close the report, leave the database running, and switch back to the presentation. The vast majority of database applications, however, are created by professional database designers and developers and range in scope, focus, and scale from personal databases to workgroup and departmental ones, and all the way to enterprise database systems that support all of the functions of a large multinational organization. You're familiar with your intro MIS class with ERP systems or enterprise resource planning systems designed to integrate all the functions from CRM, customer relationship management, HRM, human resource management, SCM, supply chain management, accounting, finance to manufacturing, production, and all of this into one gigantic database management system. As was already mentioned, most or all of the production-grade database systems are designed and developed by the professional software engineers, and none of it would be possible without a strong procedural and object-oriented language access. PL access combines non-procedural SQL with a programming language to perform all the necessary database tasks, such as adding a customer under the hood without being seen or noticed by the user. So let's go back to the Access database and talk about the functionality behind Add Customer button in the ACC DB10T cust entry form. So double click on the form. All of these buttons except the Add Customer buttons don't have any functionality behind them. It would have to be programmed. The Add Customer button, thus, when you click the Add Customer, a box should pop up saying you just added a customer. And to see what happens behind the screen or under the hood, go under Create tab and Visual Basic button all the way on the right, which will show you the screen or part of the screen that explains or shows the part of the code that added a new customer and populated some of its fields. So the new customer ID is 407. There is no company. Last name is Smith. First name John. Age 38. And then the customer table is updated, and the message box you just saw, you just said that a customer pops up. Okay, so then close the code view, the Visual Basic Code view, return back to the customer form, and then close it. If you click on the Add Customer one more time, it'll get you an error, essentially saying that you cannot add another customer with the same customer ID. If you wanted to do that, you would have to first delete it by going all the way to the bottom of the customer table, right-clicking on that 407 Smith John customer and deleting the record first. If you do that, close the customer table, run the form, it'll let you add that same customer right back. Okay, and now let's switch back to the presentation. Now, a modern database management system has a host of other ever increasingly technical tools and features. They range from transactional performance optimization to database tuning through a number of utility programs that monitor performance, distribute work efficiently across multiple servers, and do many other useful things. Again, most of this happens on the back end, behind the scenes, and falls within the realm of professional database administrators and network engineers. The second video in the series provided an important example to describe the motivation behind using relational databases in today's modern information systems. The term database was defined from both business and technology perspectives, and database management systems, or DBMSs, that implement today's relational databases were defined, and their major features, such as non-procedural access with SQL, were briefly outlined. Next, you need to install the free MySQL community server, as well as Toad for MySQL client software, following instructions posted on the Moodle. I also have those recorded in a few videos. You will then finish quickly by installing Notepad++ and ER Assistant, another two smaller pieces of software, and you should then be all set with all the software that you will need for this class.